reportedly set to sign a deal with the Jaguars, but not everyone is happy about it. Rob Ninkovich is among those people. The former Patriots linebacker explained why he doesn't think Tebow will make Jacksonville's 53-man roster, saying, quote, "If you threw a helmet and shoulder pads on me and I haven't played in 4 years, I would be able to throw around Tim Tebow as a tight end. You can't just go from QB to a tight end. You can't do it." Shannon, do you agree?
I've been trying to tell Skip it's a different mindset that you have to have. Skip, I think the thing is as a tight end, there are very few tight ends that can just overpower. And there's really not a tight end that can overpower a defensive end. And defensive ends, they understand leverage because they look at Skip. If you watch the way defensive ends work against an offensive tackle, if they see him sitting heavy, which means he's expecting a bull rush, they'll go around him. If they see him sitting light, hand on the dirt, back it up, they're going to bully him. Well, it's the same thing with a tight end. He's going to use your leverage against you. See, I wasn't that big, 225, 228. So I had to be technically sound in blocking. And because but I had to learn that, Skip. It wasn't something that, okay, you're a tight end now and you just picked it up. It's trial and error. They feel you light one side, okay, boop, they tip you over. Now you're on the ground and now they make the play. All right, Sharp, drop your hips. You're too high. It's nuances to the game that Tim Tebow is going to need to learn over an extended period of time. And I just don't believe because he's doing this so late in the process, Skip, I just don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Well, as a matter of fact, he's not going to be able to do it. So if they use him like you say, as an H-back, put him in motion, don't put him at the point of attack, things of that nature, sure, throw him a few passes here and there. But hell, I don't even know if he can catch the ball because I've never seen him catch a ball. But I agree with Rob Ninkovich. Most guys, think about, he got Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Chandler Jones, J.J. Watt. Which one of those guys you think he blocking? Zero.
How many of those guys could you have blocked in your prime?
In my prime?
Yeah.
I block every last one of them. Now, I'm not going to say I will block them the whole game. No, I'm not going to block any of these guys the whole game. But I promise you, I'm going to hold my own because I blocked the J.J. Watts. I've gone up against those guys, the equivalent of those guys, and held my own. But, Skip, you have to understand I have been playing tight end. I understand the nuances. I knew how to hold and get away with it. I know how to do certain things that they would ask me after the game, how did you do that? And hey, me being the good guy that I am, I can't tell y'all, but there are certain keys that you gave me away that I knew I could get the jump on you. And that's things that Tim Tebow, I don't know if he knows those things.
Okay. To set up what I'm about to say about Tim Tebow, I'm going to reread the Urban Meyer quote to his assistant coaches who worked out Tim Tebow, according to Urban, 3 different times and sort of warmed up to him because he was in such great shape. And Urban told them, this is what he told Chris Collinsworth, that he told his assistant coaches, guys, you don't understand now. He, Tebow, is the most competitive maniac you're ever going to talk to. That's the point that Rob Ninkovich is missing. And what I missed about Rob Ninkovich, as much as I liked him as a player, was I don't think he made any Pro Bowls. So all those top-level defensive ends you talked about, he doesn't belong in the same breath with.
But Skip, but he's an outstanding, he was outstanding.
Very good, but didn't make a single Pro Bowl.
No, because he stopped the run. He
was a 5th-round pick out of Purdue, started with the Saints, wound up with Belichick. He went 6'2", 260. I'm going to guess that right now Tebow is 6'2", 250-ish, maybe 245-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. So the size difference is not dramatic. And
it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I'm just here to tell you that if you gave Tebow a training camp as a tight end and you taught him the proper blocking techniques, and then with a game on the line in December against Rob Ninkovich, if you told Tim you got to make this one block on that defensive end to win this game, I promise you he would not get, quote unquote, thrown around. Because he is a competitive maniac. Even just with his heart and his guts, he is going to block the hell out of Rob Ninkovich.
No.
I'm
Skip,
sorry. He just
Skip,
would. You're
Skip,
underestimating him. You called him a marginal athlete yesterday.
Yeah.
He's anything but marginal.
Skip, let me tell you, in all my 14 years, and I played against a lot of linebackers, none of the linebackers that I've ever faced were more technically sound than the Patriots. I didn't play against Rob Ninkovich. Obviously, I was gone by the time he got to the league. But I did play against Vrabel. I did play against Willie McGinnis. I played against some of those linebackers that he had in Cleveland. Skip, they're technically sound. When you step, they step. You step left, they step right. The hand placement, they do a tremendous job of what we call setting the edge. They're going to keep that outside arm free. If they're on the right, they're keeping that left arm free. If they're on the left, they're keeping that arm free. Skip, you're not going to get them. And that's what made them so unique. If you look, LT, Skip, when I talk about linebackers and Coach Belichick, I don't even mention LT because LT is a different animal. But you look at Carl Banks, you look at all the linebackers and the way they play it, the way they can, what we call button press, the way they can lock you out and set the edge so you don't get around the corner, they're as technically sound as I've ever faced of any group of linebackers that I've ever played against. And I played against some great ones. The Steelers had great linebackers, but they weren't technically sound. There was no false moves. It was hard to trick them, Skip, because a lot of times I had gotten good where I could trick a guy. I'd make him think that I was going out for a pass route, get him to overstep, and what I would do, I would hump him. It's a draw play. They ain't biting. They weren't biting,
Shannon,
Skip.
You got to understand that the New England Patriots in 2011 at Mile High were so technically sound that a quarterback, a marginal athlete, quote unquote, named Tim Tebow, ran for almost 100 yards against Belichick's defense and scored 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry, they couldn't stop him as technically sound as they were because he is a ball of competitive fire.
And what happened, Skip? Once they figured out what was going on, Coach Belichick got to the sideline. You're right. In like the first quarter and a half, he had almost 100 yards in rushing. Coach Belichick got to the sideline and says, guys, got on that blackboard because they make as good a get. What makes them so good, Skip? They're smart. That's why they can make the in-game adjustments that they make and halftime adjustments. He got on the board and says, this is what they're doing. When they do this, this is what we do. They shut it off, and they blew the game open. Skip, I'm telling you, with Rob Ninkovich, like I said, I didn't play against him, but he loved those big. If you look at all his linebackers, look at Kyle Van Noy, look at Willie McGinnis, look at all his linebackers. Skip, he don't want no small linebackers. He wants somebody that can be able to hold an edge, hold a point of attack. And they are as, Skip, look, I don't normally give out kudos, Skip, to the players. Because normally it's the pass rushers. Everybody wants the Von Millers, the DTs, the guys that can bend the edge. But when it comes to the running game, but he also, Skip, he got to run routes. So he going to get up against Levante David. So now he going to run routes better than Waller. And